Comparoni with Spartan Magazine.
Hey, Mel, thanks a lot. You said a minute ago that you are the team is beginning a 6.5 week program of strength and conditioning. What happens after that? What do you foresee after the 6.5 weeks? What comes next?
Yeah, we'll have to see what we're allowed to do with the conference and with the NCAA. But at some point, our coaches will get involved, hands-on with our players, with meetings and hands-on teaching and instruction on the field, and we'll just have to see what that looks like.
Okay, so at this point, there's no green light to get on the field with instruction in football and those type of things at this time.
We've chosen to go in the weight room. Okay. I believe that your team is built in the weight room. The foundation of your team is built in the weight room. The mental and physical toughness of your team, the culture, the chemistry, the attention to detail, the sense of urgency, that all starts in the weight room.
And I would imagine at this point, this is the most you've been able to see the players day after day after day, strength-wise, as opposed to the summer and parts of the summer. This is the time you can be more intense now than you've ever been before since you've gotten here right now for these next 6.5 weeks.
Yeah, we're laying a foundation, and it's going to be a strong and solid foundation of strength and conditioning. Our players are very excited about it. They're embracing what we're doing in our weight room. They're seeing gains daily. And we're just going to continue to build.
Yeah, Mel, I'm just wondering, how are the players reacting, or how do you think they'll react, and what do you say to them about when they see that other players around the country are practicing in other conferences? And how do you feel about that, the fact that your program is not practicing right now, whereas some around the country are practicing?
Yeah, we're only focused on what we can control. And I know that our players are excited about what we're doing right now in our weight room, our strength and conditioning, and building a broad base of strength and power and explosiveness, and also the chemistry and the competition and the togetherness that you do build in the weight room and strength and conditioning. And so, we're controlling what we can control, and we're focused on what we're doing here in East Lansing. Yeah, it's a challenge that we're built for this, and it's all about connection. We have a lot to sell here at Michigan State, academically, socially, and obviously from a football standpoint. We have a rich tradition of football here, and a lot of great teams, a lot of great players, a lot of great moments, and so we're able to sell that. And if it's virtually, FaceTime, Zoom, text, mail, whatever we can do. We're going to sell our program each and every day. And so that's a challenge that we embrace.
How much do you prefer, though, the in-person contact that you may have been given, and how much do you think you would have had an advantage in that capacity if you were allowed, in-person visits? And, do you think you would have even more success than what you've had so far?
Well, I like to deal in the reality of what we're able to do now, and not what we wish we could do or what we should have been able to do. And so that's just being where our feet are and seeing what the truth is, what do we know, and try to get it right today. And so we've been able to connect with recruits virtually and through Zoom and FaceTime and text and letters and things like that. And that's what we have. And we have to do a great job with that. We're working hard at it every day. And also that's part of our culture. That's part of our process. That's part of connection. It's just understanding that, control what you can control, and work with what you have, and not make excuses.
Okay. How are you guys handling being able to really have an extended off season to either, is it positive or negative for the athletes?
It's very positive. We're embracing that. Our strength and conditioning staff is outstanding. Coach Novak and his guys are ready to work with our players. We've already begun our off-season conditioning program. We're treating this time like it's January, and so we're building a broad base of strength and conditioning, and that will allow us to be prepared for whatever's next. We're going to take advantage of the time that we have, and obviously, we did not have spring ball, and a lot of our summer conditioning program was not available to us. And so, we have time now to build that broad base of strength and conditioning. Our players are very excited about it. like I said, that we have a great strength and conditioning program, and Coach Novak has done a great job. When I visit with our players about our program and I ask them about our strength and conditioning program, they light up. They love what we're doing in our weight room, and so we're gonna make the most of all of this time that we have. Yeah, we've been very positive. Obviously there was some disappointment, but we're preparing for what's next and staying focused on what we can control.
Can I just real quick, did your players, what was the overall consensus when you broke the news to them? How did they handle it?
They handled it well. It's a mature group, and they're following our lead as coaches and staff, and we're positive, and we put forth a plan to move forward, and they're excited about it. Our guys get it, and I think everyone knew that might be a possibility. We were cautiously optimistic going into camp, but our guys handled it well. I mean, they're like I said, they're a mature group. We've done a great job communicating with them along the way, and so obviously there was some disappointment, but not necessarily surprised. Yeah, I've been really excited to be here, and I try to stay neutral in my emotions. Try not to get too high, try not to get too low, and just deal with what's happening at the moment. What is truth? Well, what do we know now, and what needs to be done in the future? And so that's how I remain focused.
But a couple of your guys, or several of your guys that had opted out of a fall season, has there been any discussion with them about if a spring season happens, then maybe they would be interested in doing that? I know they had indicated they were going to come back for 21, but is this now a new conversation you have with guys on whether they might play in a spring season now?
Yeah, this is a new conversation. A lot of the players that were considering opting out are very, very excited about the program that we've set forth currently with strength and conditioning to get our guys bigger, faster, and stronger. It's really a time for us to work on our culture, our process, and our connection with our players. And so as time moves on, we'll see what that looks like. But I anticipate full participation or nearly full participation from our players, and we'll see what the future holds. We're still having conversations, and I'm going to support those guys in whatever they decide to do. That's what I'm here to do, is support them. As coaches, we're here to teach, motivate, and develop, and this is all part of a process. And right now, building our culture, laying the foundation for our process and connecting with our players is a big part of what we're doing, and communicating with our players about future participation, eligibility, NFL. That's all about connection, and we're embracing that. I like the makeup of our team. I like our team chemistry. I like our work ethic. Our guys are unselfish. They love to play football. I just really enjoy watching our staff get a chance to be really hands-on with our players, really for the first time, and just seeing our guys out there as a football team. And football is a great game. That's why we're here, because we love to coach, we love to play, and it was just great being out on the grass with our players.
What do you do, or what are you planning on doing to fill that time and keep yourself occupied?
Zoom press conferences, recruiting, signing footballs. I worked out this morning at 7 a.m. Had 2 donor meetings scheduled today, and so recruit. I could tell by our first practice, when we came together on the field, our players knew what to do. They were familiar with the schemes on both sides of the ball and also on special teams. And I could tell that all of our Zoom meetings and installation with our schemes, virtually really paid off. And so I was really excited about that. But obviously, we were in helmets and shorts. Football is a contact and a collision sport. So those are some things that we have to evaluate about our players and our team, our level of physicality and things like that. And so when we're able to suit back up when it's safe and when that time is right and put the pads on, we'll be able to find out. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways. And I talked to our players about that, during the practices that we did have and the staff, hustling on and off the field, shirts tucked in, shoes tied up, being punctual, coach me, coach, yes, sir, no, sir, giving great effort, technique and fundamentals. All those things are part of, how we operate day to day. When we're at the cafeteria, yes, please, and thank you. That's all part of culture, and how we study tape, how we take notes in meetings, how we walk through, attention to detail, organization, sense of urgency. Those are all things that can be worked on a day-to-day basis, and we're doing that.